Hey everybody, Brandon Wagner here from Tribeca Color Salon, and thank you for joining us again for our podcast. And this whole year, we're celebrating our 25-year anniversary. And part of that, we are actually doing this podcast series where we celebrate both the staff that work with us at Tribeca, but also with our clients also, especially small business owners and educators. So today, I am featuring Stephanie, who is our HR director. And much more than just HR director, Stephanie, I think, actually does fit the bill as the Tribeca mom in many ways, because she definitely takes care of all of us. She's been with us for a really long time in many different positions. So she's an awesome person.
Yes, so this year will be my 13th year at Tribeca. I started working here, at I think I was like 22, and now I'm 35. So a lot of
Wow.
milestones. I started you had this little area at Ybor. It was a little shop and it was called Becky. And you did nail services. And then we also had like a massage room and makeup. And you had some Aveda products. And I started there. And then I worked front desk. And it's also like a weird turn of events that I feel like happened to get here. And then I was the front desk manager, and then you promoted me to be the experience director, and now I'm HR as well. And I also do our social media and, handle our online presence with you.
Most definitely. Yeah. And you're much better at it than I am. So you have a very, well, actually, let's ask about it. I mean, I feel that you have a very high standard for our Instagram, and it shows. Like it's a beautiful layout. It's a beautiful splash page when people find us. We definitely believe that Instagram is much more important than I do, like especially for communicating with clients and such. What is your message to our clients? Like, what's the purpose of our Instagram, and why are you so meticulous with it?
Well, I feel like when I first started working here, Instagram was like not that important at all. Like social media wasn't even what
Mhm.
it is today. So I remember in the beginning when I was starting to learn a lot about Instagram, it was all about you have like 10, 15 seconds to really capture someone to even like go through it. And now there's so many, you know, Instagrams for hair salons and all of that. I think that when you get to our Instagram, you see who we are. We're very fun, but we're also professional. And I think it shows. We don't do a lot of skits, I feel like now, like with the TikTok era, I feel like that's where it's at. But I feel like overall, we're current with what's cool, I guess, on in Instagram terms.
Definitely. It's kind of funny because I know that you and I have had actually arguments about some of the stuff that, you know, that is out there in the trends for TikTok, because sometimes I just feel that hairdressers, we've become, and I hate saying this word clown, but we've become entertainers. And,
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 30 years and I take my profession very seriously. And I remember the days when all I had to do was do really good hair. But now
Yeah.
it's not just good hair. It's, I've got to put on a show and I've got to sing and dance for you and stuff. And it's weird to me. It really is, because I understand its purpose, because, humanity is content now. I mean, we truly, when you get into the philosophy of just like what's going on with social media and how it impacts all of us. But, there's a point where hairdressing is now becoming entertainment. And I understand it. I expect it now. But it's just kind of funny because I remember the days where it was just pretty simple, just doing good hair. So I appreciate everything that you do, because you've got your thumb on the heartbeat of what needs to be done for social media. So let's talk about your job with HR a little bit. So it's always fun and exciting. What do you deal with?
Well, to start off with, when we're hiring, I think that what's most important is definitely, are you going to be respectful? Are you going to be a good employee, first off? And then, do I see you getting along with everybody? A lot of your life is being at work. So it's important that we all respect each other and get along. I think what is cool about Tribeca is that we're all very different. I mean, if you were to line us up, we're so different, and it's
Yeah.
inclusive. From the music we like to the way we dress, but it works out because we're all respectful of each other, and we all are professional. It can be kind of wild sometimes, to be honest, like with past employees, maybe. I think that you're very understanding and you give people a lot of chances. Once you've decided to invest in someone, you really do invest in them. So maybe deciding to let someone go isn't as easy for you or me, but I think that's the rough part about HR would be,
Mhm.
having to make those decisions. But I know that, and this speaks for like anybody in HR or management, like when somebody is let go, they're not the only ones thinking about it at the end of the day. You have to go home and you let someone go and possibly like ruin someone's, not, I wouldn't say future because everyone will bounce back, but you definitely ruin their day. At the end of it, I know that if we've fired someone or we've let someone go or it just didn't work out, it's because it just wasn't going to happen and we really gave them every chance possible. And not to like put this out there, but it is very hard to get, once you've gotten hired, it is hard to get fired from here. We do give a lot of chances. We are understanding. You are someone specifically that like I think other bosses would be like, yeah, no, goodbye. Where you're like, well, life happens. And I think that you also have been, and so you've experienced a lot of life. So you're like, well, when I was 20 or when I was 30, I
Mhm.
had this happen. So maybe. So yeah, I think HR is interesting. It can be hard, but I would say dealing with the employees that we have right now, I think what I'm dealing with is just like, dude, you need to clock in or like, those kinds of things. It's nothing major. Now, have I dealt with major stuff? Like, yes. And even like in the aspect of when I was doing like the customer service part, that was wild too. But I think that overall HR at Tribeca is not horrible.
Well, that's a very good point because a lot of HR in corporate settings, it's like you never want to talk to the HR person because you know that you're going to get canned or you're in trouble. But if anything, you really do try to give people advice on how to succeed and how to keep their job, And I know that for myself, what you had said about the idea, like, I understand that life happens. I think that's a big part of the way I look at it is, first of all, I am totally about redemption because I've been lucky in my life where people have given me a second chance. So I'm all about giving second chances to people. What's your favorite part of HR? What do you like the most?
I'm trying. No, I think that the
Schedule.
best part of it, no, I do find helping, like now that I am like older, you have like 20, 19, 20 year olds, like I am older to them, but I do feel like it is nice to have lived my 20s and try to tell them like, hey, listen, this is probably not the best idea, or maybe you should look at it this way. I do find it fulfilling to help people. I think that even though we are as professional as we can be, and, we don't really try to dip our hands in personal lives when you are in HR, people are going through things, right?
Mhm.
So I do find it nice to help people when I can. And I do love seeing people that I've hired become stylists and be amazing. I mean, we've had so many great hires that have just like flourished, and from even like shout out to Dory and Lucy, the people they've hired are old
Mhm.
HR people as well. Like, I think that's the most fulfilling part, just seeing people that you've hired that just really are great employees and worked out
Mhm.
amazing and just did an excellent job and now are stylists and, making money, full books, and just being a great Tribeca employee.
When you think about the company itself, like, of course, like you're saying, is that we're trying to like keep the right people on board and everything. Just recently, I made the decision switch from an S corp legal structure to the benefit corporation, which hopefully we're going to be applying for a B Corp certification. How does that work for you when you're talking to people, or do you even care about the fact that we're trying to go in this direction? Like, I think that HR is a big part of that, and the fact that we do we do a lot of stuff that, we have an amazing benefits program, and we even have a travel policy for people that need to get medical stuff taken care of in other states. Like, we definitely try to take care of our people. How do you feel that now that we're changing the legal structure, how do you think that's going to affect the way that you're going to talk to a new hire, or how are you going to deal with a disciplinary issue?
I feel like you've always ran the salon kind of in this direction in a way. So I don't think it would be that much different. And with any change, I feel like you specifically are really good with change, me not so much, but I do think that I do think that, you've always made it very easy for us to move into the right directions. Um, and there's plenty of examples of that. So whatever changes do come up with this, I don't think will be hard to transition to. As far as the excitement, I think everybody's very excited. I think that you and we talk about it too, like, when we're doing our insurance, we're picking our insurance plans, and, Peggy comes in with her binder. We're all going through like our dental, our vision, and are we doing the gold plan, the silver plan? I think that meeting in October is like when we're all like, damn, he does a lot. And then, we have our 401k. You do a lot for us. So I feel like everyone is always appreciative, especially in the salon industry. you know, you're not going to find somebody that's offering health insurance to part-time employees. Like that's very, very rare. You care about them. So I know you always, always, always put making sure that their health comes first. So you offering part-time and full-time insurance, vision, dental, 401k, everything that you offer is something that always gets people excited. Yeah, we forget about it. We're not that we're ungrateful, but you don't really think about it throughout the year. But when
Yeah.
it's time to sign up, and Peggy's going over everything we get. So I think that you've always been at the forefront of bringing attention to things that we might need in the future, and helping us get it as well. We've always, I think that all of us at the salon know that you have our best interest as far as like benefits go. If anything, everyone's pretty excited. And I think you have complete trust from everybody. Whatever you decide that you want to do with the company is not going to be bad. It's only going to benefit us. So, yeah, I think it's an exciting thing. You've been doing so much research on it, honestly, and I feel like at every meeting we get a little bit more information, but we really haven't like dived into it. So the
Mhm.
more information we do get, and as we get it, everyone's been really excited. And like I said, whatever you decide for the salon is always in the best interest. And I think that everybody knows that 100%.
Well, thank you for that token of confidence, because that's pretty amazing. I'm trying. It's kind of funny because people like my clients, right? I've been taking care of like for 25 years. They're like, you're such a good business person. And what's funny is that if you were to ask a corporate CEO of like a mega company, they would shun everything I do because it's not about making money. It's about keeping people happy and keeping employees, just on board with everything. And it's just so funny to me because what I do as a business person is the wrong thing to do if you're talking about textbook running a business. But you know what? It's what I want to do. And so far, here we are 25 years in, and we're doing great, And it's funny because that's a big component for me, is that taking care of your employees, taking care of your clients, of course, that's what it's all about. It's kind of funny when they talk about money at the end of the day. You may have those people have much more money in their pocket than I do. But the thing is, I can sleep at night and I know that, I'm taking care of people in the right way. And I think that's ultimately, if we had more business owners like that, I think that it would be a better world for sure. Because I think that, especially now capitalism is gonna, well, I can get into my whole thing, but it's kind of gotten crazy. And it's a bummer to me that, I definitely have a comfortable lifestyle, love, what I do. And, I've done very well for myself, and it's enough. When I think about these people who always have to be like more and more and more, grab, grab, grab. And I'm like, that's how you kill a company. That's how kill your employees, because you're taking too much, and I definitely have the understanding that, it is all about you guys, not me. And yeah, so I appreciate everything you just said. I really do, because that's what's important to me as a business owner. It really is. So I know that you deal with stress all the time, but when was there a moment or a time that you really had to deal with a massive stressful situation with this?
I think that a time where I was stressed about like having a job or keeping a job, the only time was when, we dealt with like a walkout. I
Hmm.
had never been through that before. And if you're a salon owner or like in management, I mean, that's intense, You're
Hmm.
dealing with clients calling for their stylist, you're dealing with, the stylist aspect, but also like I was, at that point you had to, you know, kind of rearrange some things. And I was like, and you had even like sat us down and you talked to us like, hey, so, this is serious. And I don't know if I just wasn't, putting it together like, oh, wait, no, this is money and we need that for me to get paid. And maybe you don't have enough. So you had to rearrange stuff. But I
Hmm.
mean, for you, how was that like dealing with a walkout? Because I mean, I saw you deal with it, but only at work. I can't even imagine what was going on like 24/7.
Yeah. Well, I do feel I'm pretty good at separating my stress in general. I definitely believe in the whole water off a duck's back. The one thing is that life is going to go on, period. And I've suffered through several walkouts as it is already. So we've actually had, I think, at least three walkouts, and it's just part of the industry. I think that for
Hmm.
myself, I don't even worry about it anymore, because I know now I've seen how we can rebound. I try to separate the emotion from the feeling of like, oh my God, I'm being attacked, or people don't like me anymore, or whatever's going on. But the reality is if somebody wants to leave, they're going to leave, and especially
Hmm.
the biggest thing was, of course, when the lofts started opening up, because that
Hmm.
was a game changer for the whole industry. And I have
Hmm.
nothing against being a booth renter, because that's, what I was before I was a salon owner. But it's kind of too damn easy now in a way. And it's just kind of funny because I've separated my emotions from that. I kind of look at the income lost, and then I just have to kind of adjust for that, at least for a little bit of time. And unfortunately, that does mean sometimes layoffs. But
Hmm.
we've always been able to kind of like just rebound, after that point. And there's been several people that I've said, hey, I'm sorry, but, we got to part ways for now. But the moment I can afford you again, I'm going to bring you back. And that's happened with, a couple
Yeah,
people
no.
that were like,
Hmm.
yeah, so it has happened. I think that for myself is that I am really good for disassociating myself from that emotional aspect of when an employee says I'm out, because I know, and I've seen many salon owners take it very personally, and they get really upset about it, and they take it to heart that, you know, they've done something wrong and stuff like that. I mean, that is the case, that of course that's the case. This is the way I look at it. I now have created a work environment that I can only hope is as positive and as safe a space as possible. The benefits that we offer are premium, and no one can touch what we do. The fact that we actually do vacation pay and all the things you mentioned earlier, I know I've done what I can. So if you don't want to be part of that, you don't want to be part of it, and that's fine. Go do your own thing then. So I think that's how I handle the stress, is not taking it personally, especially because it's happened to me so many times. I'm kind of like immune to it now, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I love my employees, and I try to create a great space for them. And if it's just not the right fit, it's just not the right fit. I tell people all the time, right? Like, if you're not happy here, there's the door, and it's that simple. It really is, because we don't want anybody being toxic or cancerous in the space either, because that just feeds upon itself, and that's actually makes a lot of situations far worse. So I think that kind of ending certain relationships sooner than later is actually it's been very beneficial for us, if anything.
And I know that you've also have told people that, if it doesn't work out, you're always welcome to come back with people that,
Yep.
just feel like this is the next step. And I know that you have had people, try to come back and,
Yeah,
you
come
know,
back. Yeah.
everything like that. So, I mean, some people have come back and then, gone. And then, some people have tried to come back and you're just like, I don't have room. And, you know, I mean,
It
but
happens. Yeah.
I think that it was wild, definitely, because it was that time of the lofts. And it was like, the lofts don't play. They're in their DMs like, hey, it was like poaching time. Like it was nuts. And
Um,
Mhm.
it was a very scary time, because it was a change in the entire industry. And like I talk about all the time is that we as a commissioned salon are a dying breed. I would hope that we come back. And the thing is, I know that the reason why it's a dying breed is because so many salon owners don't have the capacity to manage the business. And that's where they fall short, in the fact that there's no chance of being able to create in an environment that people want to stay in or feel that they can grow in. And that's all we try to do is, like, we give opportunities. We have very specific growth for our stylists. We have, even starting as the apprentice, of course, we have a great educational program. They can grow in both their commission level and also how much they're charging. Kind of the sky's the limit. Sorry that my dog is barking, but the sky is the limit, really, when it comes to what revenue someone can come and make here. And I'm very proud to say that several of my senior level stylists make just as much money as I do. And here I am, the owner, and I'm just like, they're making bank, and I'm proud of that. Like you had said earlier, just like when you mentor somebody and you allow them to grow, and then you have somebody who is pulling down 100K a year. That's phenomenal in this industry where I don't know what the national average is, but I think it was like $25,000 or something.
I
People
mean,
have the.
no, I was
Oh,
just going to say, thankfully, a lot of us were able to buy homes. We've all been able to
yeah.
kind of, you
It's my proudest thing. It's my
definitely,
proudest thing is people buying homes. Yep.
you definitely were always like, guys, like, you guys need to do this. You've always been definitely like trying to help us navigate and make the right choices. I mean, like you said, you've always tried to, I guess, be comfortable, but also make sure that we're comfortable as well, which,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is so important. Um, and I also feel like because you've been like that, it doesn't make any of us want to ever leave. And also now, with knowing what salons like the lofts offer and going on your own, you've also adjusted like our scheduling, our
Mm-hmm.
time bank, our bonuses. You know, you really have, there's not tons of rules. Like, you hate rules, like you say, and so many, things like that. Okay, you have to do this. No, like, everything's very straightforward. And like our scheduling is very flexible now. And you've made that
Mm-hmm.
change because that's something that people want. People want to have freedom. So that's why we have those things at Tribeca. And I think a lot of the stylists appreciate it. And that's why you have people that have been here for 15, 13, 12, over a
Yeah.
decade. Now it's going to be, before you know it, it'll be like at least half of us have been here for a
That's
very long
wild.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
And
appreciate that for
that's
sure.
amazing.
Yeah,
Who can say
it
that? I
is.
mean, I wouldn't think a lot of salon owners could say that. I don't know,
No, not
just
really.
from, I don't think so. So that's really cool.
I appreciate that. That's awesome. Okay, so I guess on that note, we should wrap this up. So first off, thank you so much, Stephanie, for everything that you do for me and the company, because you are phenomenal. I do you like my earpiece. Like, I bounce everything off of you before I even present it, just to make sure it's on the right vibe and such. Thank you so much for spending this half an hour with me. And I am sorry that the cat intervened for a little bit, but thank you, everybody, for watching the podcast. And we're going to keep on doing this all year long to celebrate the 25-year anniversary of Tribeca. And if you are one of our clients, that's either a small business owner or an educator, please reach out to us, and I would love to do an interview with you, most definitely. So thank you so much, everybody, and have a good night.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Steph.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.